I was always very competitive. I wanted to win all the time. I played baseball in high school, but then it became evident that I was a better runner, so I just ran. And I ran in high school, I ran in college at UConn, continued to run after I got out of college. Started my own business in 1989. My company coordinates about 25 running events and fundraising fitness walks for nonprofit organizations with over 30,000 participants, and those are all throughout the year. I found out I was decent at doing it and that people would hire me to continue to do it. I liked the satisfaction of finishing the event. And while you were doing it, you felt like you were doing something meaningful and you felt like what you were doing was worthwhile. So that's continued throughout all these nearly 1,000 events that we've coordinated since 1989. You do take pride in what you do. You want people to be happy that they did the event and that you want them to come back. After the 2022 Hot Cocoa 5K, an event that I've been doing for more than a decade, it's in Cheshire. I unloaded my van, it was a little after 3 o'clock, and thought, okay, I can go for a bike ride and ride 30 miles before it gets dark. It was a beautiful day. It was 70 degrees on the second weekend in November. So I got on my bike, the same route going out to Guilford with very low traffic areas and a very safe ride. Started riding like I'd done hundreds of times before on the same route, maybe even thousands of times. And I got 3 miles into it.
Guilford emergency.
Hey, I'm on 146 here, on the way to Brantford, and some dude got hit on a bike. This bike is obliterated. It looks like a hit and run.
Is he conscious right now?
I don't know, dude. I just got out and I saw him. I didn't know if it was real or not.
What was that?
I said I'm the one that called the shit.
Okay.
I told nothing.
Who hit him?
I have no idea. I saw debris. I didn't.
Sir, can you hear me?
I'm good. Don't worry about it. I'm okay.
You're not. We're gonna get you checked out, right? What's your name?
John Bysiewicz.
I'm Anthony.
You're doing okay.
I'm all right. I'm worried about you.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Is there any family I can call to meet you at the hospital?
I need to go to the hospital.
I don't think so.
You said Bysiewicz? We're gonna get you taken care of, all right? Yeah, there's a whole pile right next to my cruiser, so he must have got hit right here. The bicycle's in half, like in 2 pieces right over here.
Hi, Jennifer Glass. Hi, this is Officer Greeley, Guilford. How are you? We just responded. Your husband is John Bysiewicz. Okay, he was in a bicycle accident. He's okay. He's going to Yale in New Haven right now. The bus is just leaving now. The ambulance is just leaving now.
General Hospital. This is Medic 5, currently inbound to your facility, ETA of about 10 minutes.
It was such a nice day, and so I sat down in the porch and started reading and then fell asleep and was taking a nap. I left my phone upstairs, and I got a phone call on my watch. And it was a number I didn't recognize, but I didn't think anything of it. It did make me get up and go get my phone. The police officer called me again and told me. She said, very intentionally, he was okay, but they were taking him to the hospital. I said, my husband been brought in, he was in a bike accident. And then somebody came out and they were like, they put me in a room and I knew it was bad. They said that pretty much immediately, that he had been in a very serious accident and he had many injuries. And she said, life or limb, or something like that. And I was like, it's shocking to hear. And I texted John's sisters and I said, you need to call me right away. And they did. They called me together. I told them, and they said, he has to live, right? And I knew that too, but I didn't, like, I just, it's such a huge thing to think about, that, and you know, so much of John is about running and biking, that I honestly didn't have any idea how to react. It's just not something that I could have really imagined. So I wanted other people to say, you have to make this decision. So.
First off, I had a lot of open wounds. I ended up in a cow pasture with a lot of gravel. I had 5 breaks between my elbow and my wrist. I lost a lot of blood there. I lost my hip, broke the fibula in my left leg. My right foot was severely broken. It must have stayed in the pedal. I was in a medically induced coma while they were doing a number of the surgeries. And then I woke up 3 days later and I realized that I didn't have the bottom of my left leg and my left foot. So when I woke up, my wife was there and told me what happened. She told me that it was a very difficult decision to have my leg amputated. She knew that I was a very active person and she didn't know whether I would have wanted to have lived. But luckily she talked to a couple of my sisters and made the decision to go ahead and do that, and that saved my life, and I'm happy that she made that decision. I've had over 1,000 surgical staples put in me. I've been on IV antibiotics for months. There's been, I think, about 14 surgeries, and I'm going to have one eventually to replace my left knee also. It's been a long grind back to health.
Well, the progress was from the beginning. It just is contingent on how you define progress. So being able to hold your balance sitting up without support is progress. But I think that if John were to chime in, he would say that it wasn't anything worth talking about because he wasn't up and moving around. I think that it is good to celebrate your accomplishments, your achievements, you know, the process of overcoming such adversity, but not just be complacent and satisfied with that, but it's also important to be able to keep on pushing. But I feel like he never paused long enough to celebrate the accomplishments because he was solely focused on what he wanted to achieve. He made a very verbal, conscious decision that he was going to put the circumstances of what caused him to be at Gaylord behind him. Actively put it behind him. He wasn't going to dwell on any of that. It served him no purpose. It wasn't going to change the fact that he was still here with the injuries that he sustained, and it wasn't going to inhibit him from focusing on what he had to do in order to get better. It's easy to be bitter, frustrated, or just overwhelmingly sad and grieve the loss of life as it was known before, and we really never did, ever.
I mean, looking back on it, the funny thing is that I really didn't get depressed. I just thought, okay, what do I need to do to get walking and to lead a more independent life? it's not good for you just to think about what happened to you rather than what I can do to get to a better place. You can't change the cards you're dealt. You just have to deal with the best you can with what you've got. It's not always linear. You'd sometimes take a step back for every step forward. You just have to keep moving forward and keep a positive attitude. And maybe it's not where I want to be, but if I keep doing the therapy I do, I can get to a place. And I may never get to the place I want to be, but I can get to be better than what I am now, and that will make my life better. The more independent I can get, the more I can do, the more I can enjoy my life. I mean, I don't know if I have a purpose in life, but I do know that people, total strangers, have come up to me and said I've been inspirational to them, and I've helped them through some difficult times. A lot of people would have done what I've done, and I don't feel like I'm inspirational. I feel like I've just done what I've had to do to get to where I want to get, and I'm not there yet.